Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be talking about my anticipated April new book releases. So as you guys have probably noticed, I'm not in front of the bookshelves right now. I am actually visiting my parents this weekend, and so I'm filming in their living room right now. This is the brightest backdrop I had, so hopefully it doesn't like wash out my face and make it dark, but yeah, so I guess this is the perfect video to do here because I'm going over books that I'm just gonna like show you here instead of like actually pulling them off the shelf, so it actually works out quite well. But anyways, today we're going to talk about books that I'm excited that are coming out in April. And I have a couple here. I don't have too many. April doesn't seem to have too many books that I'm like super interested in, but I do have like a small list here that I wanted to share with you guys because some of these actually sound really good. But before we get into the new releases, I wanted to share a little bit about the sponsor of this video, and that is the Seven Parallels book series. So Seven Parallels is essentially packed up into like volume one, which is like I believe the first seven like editions of this series. I'm going to share a little bit about what it's about, but this book series is currently hosting a giveaway on Goodreads. So I'll put the link down below for you guys to check out as well, so that you guys can go and enter the Goodreads giveaway and have a chance at winning this like book collection. So anyways, Seven Parallels. I'll read the description here so you guys have an idea of what it's about. 2121, the world in which the populations of the 5 continents evolve, has become chaotic and unlivable. Since G20 countries' leaders have been condemned for genocide, New Vision established a new world order in 2080 and masters time travel since 2105. One of its most brilliant members, Kazuhiko Ken, I hope I said that right, has developed a blank page project, a rewrite from scratch of the world as we know it, by choosing to annihilate from the history of humanity some events which would have, if they had not existed, avoided humanity's decline. Members of the New Vision are therefore recruited across continents and eras to return to the past and annihilate 6 distinct events in the history of humanity and ensure that 7 parallel worlds, 6 alternate realities, are created. So that actually sounds really intriguing, and I think that this would be a really good opportunity to get your hands on this book by entering this giveaway. And so yeah, the link will definitely be in the description down below. I was like speaking to the author about this book, and they're very excited about this series and very excited about their giveaway that they're hosting through Goodreads. And they even shared some of their reviews, which I'll read one of those reviews with you here. So one of the reviews for this book says, a cleverly crafted and carefully constructed science fiction novel. From the organization of powers to the use of technologies, the author presents a future not so far from our current society. Under the prism of fiction, it offers us a real reflection on the future of our planet and the urgent need to protect it. Like her characters whose destinies intertwine, she gets us back to basics, a necessary and thrilling work. It definitely does sound like something that's very intriguing and something that does play on real world events and how things would be different if those things were changed. I also love books that have like multiple realities or like different timelines or things like that. So this sounds like something that would be really like up my alley and something that any science fiction lover would really enjoy. So yeah, definitely go enter the giveaway, which I'll put in the description down below. All right, let's jump back into our April new releases. Okay, so the first one I have on this list is called Hotel Magnifique, and this is a YA fantasy that is about a hotel that actually changes location every day. So it like the whole building moves itself. But I'm going to read the synopsis because like fantasies are ones that I'm really bad at summing up. We know this. So here you go. All her life, Janny has dreamed of elsewhere, just barely scraping by with her job at a tannery. She's resigned to a dreary life in the port town of Dirk, caring for her younger sister, Zoza. That is, until Hotel Magnifique comes to town. The hotel is legendary, not only for its whimsical enchantments, but also for its ability to travel, appearing in a different destination every morning. While Janny and Zoza can't afford the exorbitant costs of a guest stay, they can interview to join the staff, and are soon whisked away on the greatest adventure of their lives. But once inside, Janny quickly discovers their contracts are unbreakable and that beneath the marvelous glamour of the hotel is hiding dangerous secrets. With the vexingly handsome doorman Belle as her only ally, Janny embarks on a mission to unravel the mystery of the magic at the heart of the hotel and free Zoza and the other staff from the cruelty of the ruthless maître d'hôtel. To succeed, she'll have to risk everything she loves, but failure would mean a fate far worse than never returning home. I must admit, it does sound super captivating. Like, I would love to work for a hotel that goes to a different place every day, because you get to like essentially travel the world at the same time as working. Like, I'm sure I'm getting really like into the logistics of this here, but like I'm sure like if you were working at this hotel, you'd have some off time to go like do your own thing in each place that you visited, aside from just working the whole time. So then you do really get to explore the world at the same time. But we don't know what these dire consequences are, and we don't know what things are happening like behind the scenes. So the book does sound really intriguing and something that I think I could get pulled into, because it has a travel element, it has magic. That's all I really need. So that's something that would be awesome. But yeah, this one sounds really cool and I'm excited for it. The next book on this list is called Insomnia, and so this is a thriller. So this book is essentially following a main character who had a frightening experience with her sister and her mom when she was younger, which put them into foster care. So her sister can remember her mom as being like a nice person and like a good overall like caring mother, but she can only remember her mom as being a monster because of the incident that happened. Now, we don't know what that incident is yet, but that has like scared her her whole life. So now she is well grown up and she has 2 kids. She has a stay-at-home husband, and she has a really prominent like lawyer career, and she's working away, but she's getting close to the age of 40, which is the age when her mother had this like monster incident that affected them. And so she's really scared that that's going to happen to her. And now she recently started having insomnia where she can't sleep, and so she's losing time in the day where things are kind of like blending together, and she's kind of freaking out because this is like the first signs that happened to her mom before that tragic event happened. And so now she's like kind of freaking out, thinking that maybe whatever her mom had has been passed on to her, and she's going to turn out to be that monster as well. And so it's kind of like the story of her discovering what's happening and kind of like delving into the past of what happened before. And yeah, it definitely sounds like a pretty intense like psychological thriller that I'm already intrigued, and I want to know what this event was that happened in the past, and I also want to know like if it's going to happen to her. I'm kind of invested already before I've even like picked up the book, but it does sound pretty cool. And I like the twist on like insomnia, because I really enjoy in movies when that plays a factor. That's a weird thing to say, but like I like when it's a psychological thriller where you don't know if what's happening is actually happening or it's all in somebody's head. And yeah, I don't know. I love books like those, and I love movies like those. I always find them super captivating. So I think that this one would also be like right up there as one of those books. Okay, the next one's for the rom-com lovers, and this is called The Wedding Crasher. So I'll do my best to sum up what this is about. So essentially, it's about a woman who's helping her cousin. Their cousin has like a wedding business, and so she's helping them with one of their clients' weddings. So as she's like helping prepare for the wedding, she does witness something that has happened with the bride, and so now she kind of wants to save the groom from this wedding, because she knows that it's going to be doomed from the beginning based on what she has seen. We don't know what's seen yet, that's not revealed, but I can imagine what it is at this point. Anyways, so this guy, then it switches perspectives to the groom. He thinks that he's got his whole life together. He's about to get married. He's about to make partner at his business. And so he's like super well like put together with his like checklist of life that he's going through. And then this woman comes and crashes his wedding because she made it her mission to make sure that he didn't like mess up and be stuck with this, like, because of marrying a woman who potentially did something wrong. I'm really bad at summing this up, guys, but I'm doing my best. Anyways, so she crashes their wedding, and then so now this guy is not married and he's about to try and get partner at his job, but he realizes that to get partner, it kind of relies on him having a spouse, because he needs to, I believe, go to this thing where it's like the boss of the company and his spouse with him and his spouse, but he doesn't have a spouse. And so he turns to the woman that actually ruined his wedding to get her to be like his fake spouse so that he can get this like job promotion. And this sounds just like any other rom-com, but like it's a good twist and it's something that I would eat up right away. So yeah, the two of them are gonna do this thing and hopefully they can pull it off so that he can get that job promotion. And from there, I'm sure there might be some love that ensues, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Also, sorry for that like brutal synopsis. I was not good at putting that one together, but that's what I got from the synopsis. So I think it sounds like a good rom-com, and I think it would be a very quick read. Then next up we have this book, which sounds pretty cool. It's called The Children on the Hill. And the thing that captured me about this is there was like a one-line snippet about this that said it's a genre-defying book, and it pulls from like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is something that grabbed me instantly because Frankenstein is really one of the only classics that I actually enjoyed reading out of like all the classics that there are. And so I was like, okay, this book is going to deal with monsters of some sort. I am in, I'm invested. So essentially for this one, it's a thriller and it's following a psychiatrist. So she works with the mentally ill, but like when she's at home, her kids just refer to her as Gran, and she is just like a caring mother. But then she ends up bringing a child into their household named Iris, who seems like kind of like a feral child. And so she's like integrating the child into her home to get along with her kids. And so the kids get along with Iris really well. They're just excited to have another kid around. And so they all play together. They hunt monsters. So like they do like imaginary like hunts in their like backyard and wilderness to go after monsters and like document in their journals about all the different like monster types there are and stuff like that. So then fast forward to 2019, Iris was the child that was brought into the family. Lizzie was one of the kids that were already there. In 2019, she has like a famous podcast. And so she is looking into or like researching about an abduction of a girl that was taken from a town. And also there was a monster sighting. And so she's doing like her investigations through this podcast. But she has to dive into this some more. And she would know because apparently her sister is kind of a monster herself. And that's all it really tells you. It doesn't say anything else. So you're like, okay, this like feral child was brought into the family when they were young, and some stuff probably went down that we don't know about yet. And I don't know, like it sounds intriguing. It deals with monsters in a sense. I don't know if we're thinking like actual real monsters or like monsters in the sense of like evil people, but we're gonna find that out as we read the book. And yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. Inspired by Frankenstein, definitely a book I would want to pick up. Next up, we have another thriller. I just love thrillers, guys. And this one grabbed my attention. This one's called An Honest Lie. And so this one is following a main character who is kind of like a recluse. They live in the wilderness up in the mountains by themselves. But one of their friends invites her to a girls' weekend in Vegas. And so she reluctantly agrees and goes on this girls' weekend with her friends. She's expecting them to do like lots of shots, drinking, going out, having fun, which is what they do. But then the next day they realize that one of their friends did not come back with them. They somehow got lost in communication throughout the night and they didn't come back to the hotel room. Then she gets a text to her phone saying that her friend has been captured, but they don't want her friend, they want her. And she knows why. And that's all we get. So from there, we have to like read the book and figure out what happens. And I'm sure there's some sort of mysterious past with this woman, but it sounds like it's going to be a very like quick to grab your attention book and hold it throughout the entire thing, which is something that like I would love. So yeah, this definitely sounds like a good one. This next one is I feel like it's only really intriguing to me because it's called The Lifeguards. And I was a lifeguard as like growing up when I was a teenager. So that pulled me in. But then I read the synopsis and I was like, okay, this is something that I would actually read because it sounds like a Netflix show that I would watch. So essentially, it's following the perspective of three different moms in a neighborhood who are good friends. They've raised their kids together for like 15 years, and their three boys are lifeguards that work together. And so I guess the three moms, they kind of live like the ritzy life, like drinking poolside, having margaritas, just enjoying their like nice little safe neighborhood that they have. And then one day the three boys come back from, I guess, like a swimming hole that they go to, and they have some news that they tell to their moms. And then from there, it kind of reveals that their friendship might not be as like secure as they thought it was. And there's like cracks in their relationships, and then things form from there. That's really all I got from the synopsis. So I don't know too much, but that's kind of a good thing that I don't know too much going into it, because I wanna kind of be surprised by what there could be waiting. And so yeah, it sounds like something that could be really interesting. I don't know. I'll have to read it to find out. I honestly was only pulled in by the word the lifeguards and like the front cover, but it does sound like a show I would watch probably. So yeah, who knows? Maybe there's some like dark murder in there. Would have to read it to find out. But that's another one. Okay, I only have two more left, and these are both fantasy ones, so you get the synopsis directly. So this one's An Arrow to the Moon, and this says it's Romeo and Juliet meets Chinese mythology in this magical novel, which sounds really cool. So yeah, let's see what it's about. Hunter Yi has perfect aim with a bow and arrow, but all else in his life veers wrong. He's sick of being haunted by his family's past mistakes. The only things keeping him from running away are his little brother, a supernatural wind, and the bewitching girl at his new high school. Luna Chang dreads the future. Graduation looms ahead, and her parents' expectations are stifling. When she begins to break the rules, she finds her life upended by the strange new boy in her class, the arrival of unearthly fireflies, and an ominous crack spreading across the town of Fairbridge. As Hunter and Luna navigate their family's enmity and secrets, everything around them begins to fall apart. All they can depend on is their love, but time is running out and fate will have its way. That sounds pretty cool, honestly. I enjoyed reading like Romeo and Juliet when I was in high school. So this sounds like it could be a cool like fantasy version of that. And yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by this one. And then the other one was called Nettle and Bone. So this is the last one on the list. And this one sounds pretty cool. It says, after years of seeing her sisters suffer at the hands of an abusive prince, Mara, the shy, convent-raised third-born daughter, has finally realized that no one is coming to the rescue. No one except for Mara herself. Seeking help from a powerful grave witch, Mara is offered the tools to kill a prince if she can complete 3 impossible tasks. But, as in the way of tales of princes, witches, and daughters, the impossible is only the beginning. On her quest, Mara is joined by the grave witch, a reluctant fairy godmother, a strapping former knight, and a chicken possessed by a demon. Hold up. A chicken possessed by a demon? That sounds hilarious. Continue. Together, the 5 of them intend to be the hand that closes around the throat of the prince and frees Mara's family and their kingdom from its tyrannous ruler at last. I think that one sounds really good. I'm honestly here just for the chicken. No, I'm just kidding. I think it does sound like a really good book, but the chicken does help. It does make it that much more intriguing to me. I don't know about you guys, but I really like books where there's like animal companions that are like super fun, or like vulgar animal companions, because it just always like cracks me up and adds to the entertainment level of that like reading. So yeah, I do like those, and I feel like this like demon chicken is gonna have that kind of like hilarity to it. So I think that would be a lot of fun for this book. But anyways, those are all the books that I'm really excited about coming out in April. So yeah, let me know what you think of the books that I shared today, or if you have any others that you were really excited about that are coming out, then definitely tell me in the comments down below. Also, go enter that Goodreads giveaway, because like who doesn't want free books? And like this sci-fi book series sounds pretty awesome. So definitely go check it out. Anyways, if you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as linked by my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. Until next time, keep on reading.